Hello guys, welcome to Magic Hook. In this video I'm going to show you how to do this shells pattern, and this is going to be the sample number 2 of the crochet sample book project. Here I have already made a sample, so you could see this is made by cotton yarn, and I use a 3.5mm hook. It is very pretty and I found it very therapeutical, this pattern. We will be using just a treble crochet and a chain stitch. Remember that we are using Yuki terminology, and this will be how you will find the name of a stitch for written patterns, and this is its symbol. This is the chart that we are going to follow, and remember that you have this information in a link below in the comments, so you can download the document if you need to. First of all, for this pattern we need a specific number of stitches for our foundation chain. Remember that the foundation chain is is a row of chain stitches which determine the length, the size of our project. So in this case we will need to chain a number of stitches that is multiple of 11 stitches plus 5 plus 2. And what does it mean? So it says that we need a multiple of 11, which is 11, 22, 33, 44, and so on. And we need to add to that multiple 5 stitches. To that we need to add 2. So we know the minimum of stitches that we need to do for our foundation chain. So this will be 16 plus 2, 18 stitches, 29, 38, 40, 49, 51. Okay? For the sample we are going to use 29 stitches, so you can fully see the pattern. That is what I use in this sample as well. For the sample I'm going to use this chunky yarn and a 6.5mm hook, so you can see easily. So let's get started. Here is where we're going to start, the beginning of our foundation chain, and we are going to do the 29 stitches. Yeah, it will be all of them. This will count on as our first treble crochet, because we know that 3 chain stitches is equal to a treble. So we start making a slip knot, because we are going to be working in rows with the hooking. And now we said 29, yeah? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 29. Now we are going to treble in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, for to treble to yarn over, insert the hook in the stitch, pull it through, 3 loops, yarn over, pass it through 2, yarn over, pass it to the other 2, and we are going to do, that's the first, we are going to do 1, 2, 3 more. So we jump in the next stitch there. So this is where we just did. So the next, yarn over, pass it through 2, yarn over, finish the stitch, yarn over, going into the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops, yarn over, pass it through 2, yarn over, finish the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to do 1 more. 2 and 2. So that is our first group of 5 individual trebles crochet. Each of them, they work in a different stitch. Now here becomes the difference, because we are going to create the first shell of our pattern, and this is just a trebles crochet, and the difference is like they are stitched, they are worked in the same chain, so we are not gonna keep jumping stitches, we're just going to work it up in the same. However, if you see here, it's skipping 2 chain stitches, so that tells us that we need to skip 2, and in the third is where we're going to do our first shell. So I like to yarn over so then I'm ready, and then here is the stitch, the last one that we made, the last treble. So 1 and 2, and in the third we insert the hook, pull it through. That's our first treble. Now in the same stitch we are going to work 4 more treble crochet. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Perfect. Now the following that we need to do is chain 2 stitches. So we're going to do 2 chains, and we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth is where we will be we will be doing our fourth or first treble crochet. Sorry. So let's gonna do 2 chains, 1, 2, and now we jump 3. So 1, 2, 3. In the fourth we do a treble, yarn over, go in there, pull the yarn over, pass it through both, yarn over, pass it through, and then we do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 more in different stitches. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 3, 4, so 1 more, 5, 5. Okay, it's that easy, guys. We are always working in trebles crochet. The difference is like some of them they are working individually in each stitch, in different stitches, and some of them they're working in a group, which is formed or shelf stitch. Right, so we are here, so we need to jump 2, and on the third we do another shell. So 1, 2, in the third we do 5 in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We chain 2. We jump, we skip, sorry, 3. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th, we do a treble. 2, 3, 4, and this is the last one, last stitch. You see here, so that it match our last 5th treble. Yay! So that's our first row. This is the same that the orange row, yeah? So we did the foundation chain, and then we came back this direction, and then we are going to go up and go in this direction. So for to go up, because we're working in rows like this, like snake, so for to going up, to gain this length for to work in this row, we are going to chain 1, 2, 3, because we know that 3 chain stitches is equal to a treble. And then we turn our work. So what we have in here is our first treble in here, in this stitch, which is the first one. But we don't need to work a treble there because we already have one. So we are going to work in the next stitch, which is this one. We jump over, go in the stitch, grabbing the both parts of our stitch. So if you remember, it's this V. So you don't want to go in there, just in the front. I'll show you properly. So you don't want to go in there because that's the back. You don't want to go here, just here, because that's only the front. So you want to go through both of them. So yarn over, go through both of them, grab the yarn, pull it through 3 loops, yarn over, pass it through 2, yarn over, pass it through both of the rest to finish the stitch. And we are going to do this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so 3 more, so that makes a total of 5, yeah, because we are always working in 5. So 5, but in the same stitch which made the shell, and couple of chain stitches, then 5 again, then 5 in the shell, couple of chain stitches, sorry. So if we observe the pattern for a second, we can see like it's always 5 individually, 5 in the shell, 2 chains, 5 individually, 5 in the shell, 2 chains. So that's the whole pattern, guys. It's very easy. I think that is why I found it really, really therapeutical, because the treble crochet for me is a very therapeutical stitch, because the way that you yarn over and then pull it through, and it's very it has an inner rhythm, I will call it, that it made me feel very good. So yeah, so it's very easy. However, it's not a boring pattern, because some of them they can get really boring because you are always doing the same. But because we are playing with the number of stitches and the position of them, it is quite simple, but at the same time it keeps your creativity going, and it keeps you focused, at the same time that you can relax yourself and kind of like get into this crochet trance magical thing. So yeah, right, so before I continue, because I'm talking and not explaining the pattern sorry, so we will So what I've done is to make like these stitches, which is one on the top of each other, yeah, and then the shell stitch is in the first treble from the previous shell. So that means I'm just going to undo these. So that's my 5, and then this is the first, right, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that forms the shell. So in the first we do our shell now from this row. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And now what do you think that it comes? It's the time for the 2 chain stitches. So 1 and 2. And now we skip the rest of the shell, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches, and in the 5th we do our treble, which is the same stitch that our first treble for the group of 5 individual stitches, yeah. So we did the shell there, then we skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th we do the treble. I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't, just please just give me a comment, and I'll try to sort your question out. But when you can follow the charts, I think that they are really useful thing to know, because then you can read them, and then yeah, it makes your life much more easier. And they are quite of international. The symbol for a treble crochet is the same symbol in UK, Spain, America, whatever. Whereas the written patterns, they have different names for the stitches, which it can get a little bit confusing, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, anyway, so I did the 5, yeah, and now we need to do another shell, which is in the top of the first treble crochet from the shell from previous row. So here is the shell. That's our 2 chain stitches, but we kind of like, we're just going to jump that. And this is the first, yeah. So there we are going to do the shell. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now chain 2. The 2 chain stitches is always after the shell, so you know that you are going to make 5 trebles, then the shell, then 2 chain stitches. We skip the rest of the shell, and in the ones that is the first treble, there we do our first treble, and we continue 4 treble more in each stitch. And here the last one. That's it. Yay! That will be our second row. This one, yeah. And that's it, guys. Like, you just keep repeating this row once and again. So you will go chain 3, turn your work, do 4 more treble, because this is count as a 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then our shell on the first treble from the previous shell, or one, you can count if it's easier for you, 1, 2, 3. So in the third, Then we do the shoulder, 3, 4 and 5, then chain 2, jump the shell and the first treble, you do 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then shell, this is also very good if you are a beginner, because you can practice your chain stitches and the counting, how to recognize well the stitches. So I will say that it's a pattern for all level of skills, and it is very pretty. I already, well, as you know, we are using a book for Tracy, from Tracy Thought Hunter, this beautiful book. You can find, I'll leave you the link of the book as well. And she said that it's a pattern very good for wraps and scarves or for blankets, but when I started, I feel really like it was really pretty to do some mittens. So this is my mittens, guys. I still need to do the other one. It's really pretty. I love them, and winter is coming soon, so and that's it. So it's very useful pattern, and I hope that everything is being well covered in the explanation, so you can do your own. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you very soon.